Welcome to 5 Star Weekly. Matches are coming thick and fast, as well as the rumors. We get into all that and more coming up. Before we get into it, become part of the notification squad by hitting the bell next to the subscribe button on YouTube. Welcome to the show, 5 Star fam. I'm AJ, and this is Michael. And Atl Utd, they played to a 2-2 draw to break the duck at the Bends. Finally, the losing form has ended, but unfortunately, the winning form has not. But at the very least, it was a little bit more of an entertaining match, closer to what we are a little bit more accustomed to, even though we coughed up the lead late in the match. But before we get into the review and news, transfer rumors abound for sure. And, of course, the match preview against DC United. Let's give some massive shout-outs to our Patreon members, Gavin, Jordan, Niall, Andrew, and Chris. Much love to you all. Join us there and, help us out from that ground roots level. But, let's get into this match review then. And we'll go through this kind of quick since it is a Wednesday match. There are very much a lot of matches, like we mentioned, coming up very soon. So let's not dally about. Houston Dynamo, the return of Franco Escobar, and he promptly did some business against us already. He had a very Franco Escobar match, scored against us, at the back post. Very reminiscent of the MLS Cup final goal as well, to a degree, and just the same area anyway. But and then got a yellow card later, but and also you got a nice ovation before the match as well. But a match that both Michael and I were at. I mean, you want to sum up some thoughts on this match on a whole?
Just looking at reminding myself of some of the stats, because we had a really fun time at the tailgate, so some of the stats are a little blurry. But we had an expected goal of 1.79. They had 1.48. Their total shots numbered higher than ours at 19 when ours was at 12. That's concerning. I mean, being able to boss the other team around at your house is something that, we like to do, we want to do. We lost the possession battle as well at 45 to 55%. These are just unstereotypical things of Atlanta United in general, and at the very least, Atlanta United, at the tail end of last season, where we were doing this to teams over and over again, and winning a lot of those games. Unfortunately, that hasn't been the case for this season. And not only are we not winning, but now we're allowing teams to not just find late, equalizers or steal 3 points from us when it was a contested game. No, not so much anymore. Not only are they finding points, but they're also outplaying us, seeing the lion's share of the possession and also getting more shots against our keeper. That's just really unacceptable in your half.
Yeah. I mean, allowing 19 shots is never good, and especially at home. You want to be the team that actually gets the lion's share, and that's just not good enough for sure. But we did see a definitely at times more direct team in Atl Utd. But Ron Valentino also pointed out that there were times where we were still a little bit playing backwards too much, and I think that's something that absolutely is the thing that we need to work on. Is when we need to be direct, we need to be as direct as possible, and kind of not play slow, methodical. There's just no reason for it. We do so much better when we are threatening and trying to be more incisive through the middle. And I think with the introduction of Luke Brennan very early on, which Edwin Mosquera came off early, Brennan changed the match. He absolutely was a player that was trying to take players on. Franco Escobar, had his hands full, and Mike Hale, your defensive namesake on the other side, got booed because he pushed our homegrown down after a little bit of a kind of, Brennan got a little testy in there. He threw a little bit of an extra little afters in there, but he was making himself a bastard, which I've said recently we need those. And he definitely was somebody that was agitating the defense, and Mikael got booed every single touch after that. And the fracas was I think kind of woke up the crowd a little bit too. It was definitely something good for the team, I would say. But just ultimately, it's these moments where we cough up the lead. But let's talk about these goals, because Daniel Rios, he does really well pressing up high, not giving up on the play, and he gets the ball very, very high, pretty much at the right side of outside of the box. He plays it to Brennan, who is able to dribble, beat his man, find Almada. Almada takes a shot, and the rebound, it's a tap in for Rios, who starts the play. So, really, really well constructed counterattack, counterpress, really, more so. And that's what we want to see. I mean, we haven't really done that very well, just really all season. Our counterpress is pretty bad. And our pressing in general is, I would say, just poor, is even just to say it kindly. So, it's a goal that I think, it's not maybe replicable in some senses of the, I think, if we were to maybe play Rios a lot, maybe it might, because maybe, his tenacity could affect that. But, what were your thoughts on the goal?
I mean, what is positive about that goal is the pressure and the, undying kind of, never say die attitude that they had in the box at that time to create that havoc that resulted in our goal. I think that is a really, really good thing, because oftentimes you see that in our end, and that's panicky, that's nervy. You hate to watch that. But when it's on the other side, okay, great. And then we actually got a guy in the right place at the right time. They kind of have like that Tyler Wolf feel to it, where he's just kind of there and it falls to him. And I mean, I was kind of joking during the game that that's what it kind of requires Daniel to get in order to score these days, is a ball falling right on his foot, and he can easy tap it in. So he did that. Luckily, he's capable of doing that. So that's good. But yeah, like you said, this is not exactly indicative of like the success of a system. However, I think that it is indicative at least of a tenacity and intensity that the guys showed to not let that play die and to keep pushing, and they were rewarded for it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So, starting the second half, LA United definitely looked a lot more comfortable in that second half to begin it, and basically, pretty much in the 55th minute, Xande Silva. I mean, it's a crazy angle. I mean, he's just been scoring some bangers recently. His last goal and this goal, I mean, just insane shots. And talk about not replicable, but still. Take nothing away from the goal. It is well struck. He beats his man in the corner pretty much, and pretty much on the byline is able to score it into the top bins. I mean, take a bow, Xande Silva. Not even take a bow. Do your dance, and that he did. His celly with Muyumba, always a lot of fun, but and so we're up 2-1, and unfortunately, it's like 89th minute, we just crap the bed, and unfortunately, I mean, it's something where the player, I feel like Latif Blessing, who had just come on, and to be able to kind of ghost him behind us and then just unmarked back post, it's egregious. It's just another instance of falling asleep, not playing the full 90. I mean, we were very close from walking away with all 3 points, and it's very telling that Valentino pretty much mentioned that, yeah, didn't really seem like that was that likely, even though we were pretty much almost going to win. So, I think that speaks to the kind of confidence of the squad at the moment as well. But yeah, I mean, sum up your feelings, with, kind of that late goal from Houston Dynamo.
Yeah, I mean, the statistics bear it out in terms of you look at how the game went in terms of the numbers in the second half alone. You start to see that they had, going above 65% of the possession. They had a lot more shots than us. They were really kind of feasting towards the end to try and claw back any kind of result that they could get, and it worked. Credit to them. We kind of, not only did we sleep, but we also kind of backed off a bit. Perhaps after the Xande goal, we kind of thought maybe we can sit back and defend, and we got beat for that. So that was, I don't know really how to dissect that, because in a lot of times that it's not necessarily a bad idea when it's so late in the game that perhaps you want to, shore up the back line and just see the game out, but we just can't see games out, it seems. Mm-hmm. Even when it was our, kind of our objective, our what we want to do once Xande scored, they were able to, untangle that and find a goal. So that was really disappointing to see. I doubt if we decided to go after another goal, would that have changed anything? So I don't really know what the right solution is there. I don't know if I can blame someone or point to a certain thing. I just think it's just unfortunate.
Yeah. I think we don't have the confidence to go for that other goal. I think the setting up shop was probably, the move that, the team did, for better or worse. But, as well, something we didn't touch on in this episode, but, we get into it in depth in our post-match live stream. But yeah, Braguzan starting again versus Josh Cohen, who had kept his place after coming on for Braguzan when he got that red a couple matches ago. So definitely as well, I mean, I felt like there was a little bit to the effect where Guzan did seem more comfortable in possession than Cohen. And, it ultimately, though, I'm not so sure that the goals were really on Braguzan in this match, though. So, yeah, I mean, it is, a draw in Rob Valentino's return to the sidelines at the helm. I mean, it is progress, I guess, to that degree. And, the performance, at least for, pretty much bookending it, besides that, was decent. So, we'll hope to build on that, even though, yes, it is 6 winless at home, and that just boggles my mind. But yeah, so let's move on from that. We do have the DC United match later on, not later on, but on Wednesday. We will have that preview later on in this episode, rather. So let's get into the news. And Giorgos Giakoumakis is officially a Cruz Azul player. Purported $10 million move, and a DP spot has been removed from the roster. And Carlos Bocanegra mentioned that we're grateful for Giorgos' contributions during this time at the club. We wish him the best moving forward. This transfer illustrates the nature of operating in a global marketplace. With a lot of season left to play, we plan to strengthen the group during the upcoming transfer window. And in his time, he started 32 of his 41 regular season and playoff appearances, recording 24 goals and 7 assists. So a very healthy return as far as goals and assists. But unfortunately, just a player that, I think saw the kind of writing on the wall a little bit that he should probably take the money. He got a big pay raise. He, I think took the money and run. And, especially with the form that Atl Utd are in, a 30-year-old who had been a little bit injury prone, a little bit yellow card accumulation prone as well. $10 million for a player on the wrong side of 30 ain't too bad, but yeah, what are your thoughts?
I mean, yeah, like we said many times, the business end of this is fine. It's good. If we can use that money to get an upgrade of some sort, that would be nice. I don't know. I mean, I'm not like, we're not transfer people. We can't do the scouting for the club and figure out who to get and if it would make better business sense to do so. So I'll just suffice it to say, I hope and I trust in Garth and his analytics to be able to find someone that can not only be an adequate replacement, but an upgrade, because, I mean, let's be real, you know, a lot of the replacements over the last, 4 or so years haven't been really even up to snuff. They definitely haven't been upgrades in some areas. Obviously not all of them, but there's a lot of times where you bring in someone else and they just weren't as good. So hopefully we don't do that. I really, really want to be able to see, we continue to build this club higher and higher, and finding the right recipe, because whatever it was, coach, notwithstanding, this team was not the right recipe. So hopefully we can find that, and starting off with a DP9 and maybe a new coach, maybe we'll go a long way for that.
Right. And so, the great question is if we should bring in players before a permanent head coach is brought in. That is always kind of the argument there, where should we not? Should we trust Bocanegra with another window because he would be part of this? And so it is definitely a great question for everybody, especially for the club. But the big thing to notice is that Giakoumakis has not sent out a thank you for the Atlanta United fans. Not everyone has to do that when they leave, but it is. I think he did feel a lot of support when he was here, and that's not the best look if he doesn't. But anyway, so moving on from that, Bartosz Slisz, he becomes the first ever Atlanta United player to play in the Euros, his debut as a substitute in the 55th minute for Poland cemented that for Atlanta United. But Slisz, of course, is gone in this international window. He's, definitely a player that we need back very, very soon. But moving on from that, Edwin Mosquera, he was announced to have suffered that injury and will miss the next 3 to 4 weeks after a left meniscus injury versus Dynamo, and his rehab process will determine his return to play timeline. It's another player with the same kind of injury. Stian Gregerson, Tyler Wolff. These meniscus injuries, mysterious. But also,
yeah, I mean, like Doug said, injuries come in bunches, I guess. And last year it was ACL stuff and knee stuff, and now it's this. Yeah,
it's becoming patternistic, and that always is a worry when it comes to injuries. But yeah, hopefully he will recover soon. But what was interesting is that Olsen Deportes, the Twitter account or X account, he pretty much tweeted out that Atlanta United rejected an offer from Junior Club SA for the loan of Edwin Mosquera. And apparently he says, quote, the MLS club highly values the Colombian winger and does not consider the option of giving him away. Mosquera was coached by Arturo Reyes in the under-20 team. Obviously a loan isn't really going to move too much of needles, but the whole values him highly is a little suspect to hear. But I think some fans don't really rate him that highly. But what are your thoughts on this transfer rumor?
Yeah, I'm one of those fans that don't rate him super highly. He's kind of hot and cold, and when he's cold, he is like, absolute zero. So it's and I mean, in the past he's gone on loan and it didn't work out. So maybe that is a bit of why that. I mean, it's interesting. He got requests, so that's good for him. Yeah. I'm a little like, I guess we haven't really thought, like, we're putting out so many other fires as an organization that they don't want to light another one. They'll just be like, okay, we got Edwin, we're gonna hold on to him. We'll figure out these other ones, and then we'll, perhaps look at moving on from some of our U22s. But I guess they want to hold on to him. So, I mean, he can be useful, and he's been shown to be effective in some instances. So, like, there's a chance he could come good again, because he has before. So, you know, I'm not gonna like throw the baby out of the bathwater. He might be helpful, but balance of probability in my mind says probably we're gonna see a lot more of him, you know, taking some strange touches and skying the ball quite high and you know, not looking up and missing some, you know, final third passes that could have been really helpful. So that's probably what'll happen, but I'm hoping for him. I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, exactly. As long as he plays for Atlanta United, I'm rooting for him. But like I said on the post-match live stream, that Mosquera, part of a championship-winning team, that is very unlikely in my mind. But anyway, moving on from that, Golazo Argentino, the X account, tweeted out that Thiago Almada, speaking on TYC Sports, speaks of his close relationship with Riquelme, Boca Juniors, and the Argentine side. Apparently, there's no formal offer for him, but you know, there might be some whispers of that. And Almada says that something would be analyzed if you know, he was to move to Boca Juniors, but his dream is to play in Europe. But the exit from Atlanta is not easy. So, you know, very interesting, of course, because there were some rumors for him. According to Mohamed Tur of Paris, it was basically that Olympique Lyonnais, apparently is interested in Thiago Almada. And, the replacement, apparently, according to Mohamed, is that Angelo Fulgini of RC Lens. So, very, very interesting whether this is actually the case or not. But, K Del Roche, he mentioned that the club in question that is in on Fulgini is Atlanta, and it's a $9 million transfer plus a 2-year bonus, 3-year contract, and that the signature and formalization is coming in the coming days. But very interesting. You know, the validity of these is up for debate, but we're definitely being linked to some players. I don't think that we're going to be bringing Fulgini in, obviously, before Thiago Almada heads out. But Fulgini, an attacking midfielder, you know, a player that's seemingly, you know, from the attacking standpoint, kind of has some ability to create chances for his teammates. You know, maybe not the greatest passer, it seems, but a player that could help us. He is 27 years old, 6 feet tall, so not the low center of gravity like Thiago Almada. But thoughts on this rumor?
He's not exactly the rumor that everyone was hoping for. To hear, because, you know, you hear Thiago Almada, you think, you know, world-class player maybe in his future, at least right now, extremely good for MLS. Right. But this kind of guy, you go, I don't know. This is going to be one of those, like guilty until proven innocent. Like, we probably think he's not going to do great until he does. So, you know, like, similarly with a lot of the other guys that we got recently, with again from the French league, where that was in League 2, but this guy's going to be coming from League 1 in France. So in terms of his stats, you know, he's in the 50th or around 50th percentile for goals scored in his league, 63% for goal involvement in his league. His shots taken are 88th percentile. I mean, that's a lot of shots. Unfortunately, his accuracy and his conversion rate are not. So 38% was conversion, 37% for shot accuracy. So that's not a great return on his his shots taken at the goal. But he also, in terms of, I mean, that's not where, you know, we're getting him for. It's not like Thiago where the guy scores a lot. I think this is more looking at what he can do in terms of being the creator in chief he has a 93 percentile with expected assists. That's pretty high. That's pretty good. Assist at 76 percentile. His key passes, 97 percentile. Crosses and successful crosses in the 99th percentile. So that's pretty good. And just for his, dribbling acumen, he's at 77 percentile. So those are encouraging numbers. I don't know how this guy would pan out in MLS. We are still running the French experiment as it goes, so we are still kind of, the jury's out on that. But does that mean, do we want to keep investing in that and see how, where that takes us, or is it time to turn a direction? I don't know if we have enough data to support either way yet, and unfortunately, we have to make decisions about finding reinforcements. So we're just going to have to either dive in head first or look somewhere else. Either way, I think it'll be okay as long as we do our due diligence. And in terms of a creator, this guy looks like he's pretty good. At a competitive league, on a relatively competitive team, he puts up good numbers. So in MLS, that typically translates to being very good here too. Is it going to be great? Is it going to be a top 10 in the league, type 10? I don't know, and I would probably say no, but we'll see. Right. If he whatever pans out, we don't even know if it will. So.
Mm-hmm. And also, kind of what you're describing to me a little bit. I mean, obviously different positions, but kind of seems like Luis Araujo a little bit as far as the number of shots taken and the accuracy of those shots, unfortunately. So, obviously another player that can't come from league, but hopefully not an Araujo at all. But another transfer rumor, according to Sebastião Sousa Pinto, Atlanta United are closing in on the signing of free agent left back Pedro Amador for a 2.5 years contract with the option for another season. And the Portuguese previously played for First Division Portugal side Moreirense, and left back, a position that we are supremely light at, with Caleb Wiley going to the Olympics, as well as obviously the back line is supremely short with fullbacks. I think it's something that this is a buy low and maybe be able to kind of get the fruits of your buy low very easily. 25-year-olds, left back. You can't really say that this doesn't look that bad of it looks bad of a move. It's actually makes a lot of sense. But what do you think?
At this point, any warm body for left back would make sense to me. So, yeah. I mean, it's hard to really evaluate a player coming in for that position when I'm, at this point, going to be honest, and I'll take anyone because we need it like we need air. So, we've been saying this for a while, too, that Atlanta United is extremely thin left back, and we are going to be in trouble if, let's say, Caleb got injured or something. So, we definitely need someone. I get. Isn't he wouldn't he occupy an international spot? I don't know if that's great. As maybe a backup to Caleb, we talk about how Hernandez is, goes to the national team and he has an international spot and he's essentially a backup. I feel like we should move away from, our depth pieces demanding so much of our resources. I feel like we should move away from that.
I mean, it's possible, but it's also, I think there are some things where international slots, we always find a way to kind of find one, at least, generally. So it's not a big worry for me, but still, I agree that, if he's not going to play that much, then no. But it seems like he would be coming to probably, really provide that competition for places. And
it's also a little concerning to me that if this is with eyes on potentially moving Caleb, then again we will be thin if we just bring in one guy to replace him. So
yeah, I don't know if I see it as that. I see why people are pontificating that maybe it is sort of that type of case, but obviously if Caleb Wiley balls out, but I think still a move is still too early, I think, for Wiley. still has a lot of development defensively to do. And I think from a standpoint, Pedro Amador very good at crossing, and with the good key pass rate for a left back. I think it's something that has been needed from our fullbacks, just to provide a different look, because from the left side there hasn't been a ton of good crosses. It's just we're very reliant on that one side.
If you could do a little bit of interplay, like that would be nice, because it's frustrating watching Xande and Caleb try to do things, and then a little bit of connection with Thiago when he comes over too. It's, you want to see some connection like that flourish, and at times you see sparks of it, but unfortunately it hasn't really come to fruition like I had hoped.
Right. So, we'll see. But moving on from that, so a certain Miguel Almiron is getting some interest from Saudi Arabia. And also, it is one of those where, yes, he does have a contract until 2026 with Newcastle United. But, obviously with Darren Eales being there in the front office, or, the board there in Newcastle, it is interesting if it's somebody that we would be interested back again. And because he has said that he would love to come back to Atlanta United. Now, he is 30 now, which is crazy. Just wild to think about that. He is 30 years old now. But, would you take Miggy back at Atlanta United?
I mean...
This season.
I mean... I don't know. I mean... Here's the thing. The big thing for me here is that if he comes back and he does not do well and we don't do well, to me, that can tarnish his legacy. Because when he left, everything was great. Only good things. I don't like, let's say, disaster scenario, he comes here, and then he gets injured fairly early on, and then he just kind of moves on from, I don't want that. That would just, it's like he's already had, he's one of the Mount Rushmore, Atlanta United. I don't want that to be tarnished at all. Not saying that it really would, because he's so above that, but it would, I just feel like it's already perfect. Just move on. But we could. Would he help? Of course he would. Would he be the answer? I don't know. I don't know if there one player couldn't be. You could probably put Lionel Messi on our team and we'd still be struggling. Yeah. So I don't know. But I guess I'd prefer we probably just move on. But I wouldn't hate it. I mean, if they're just hey, renounce, I'd be like, okay, we'll see where it goes. And I'm happy that he's here again. And he's a great player, great personality. Fans would love it. Fans would love him. But again, it's it just stands to me that something could go wrong while he's here, and it would hurt his legacy.
I mean, I hear you. I guess how to say it, but pretty much, I'm more in the mode of not kind of fearing the worst for Miguel Almiron, even though yes, that possibility very well could happen. But he is a player that presses super well, bounds of energy, and has proven to be able to play on this turf and be okay. Yes, that was when he was younger, but still, it is a player that would really be a shot in the arm for I think the fan base and kind of the temperature. But obviously a lot of logistics to work through to even kind of broach this. Because basically, it would be, the transfer fee that we paid for him, that we sold him for, we might be buying kind of close to that. And that's, also maybe a thing that would be interesting. But, I don't know if, it's wise for us to break the MLS transfer record for a player that is 30 and, in that type of range of, his skills are not old man skills. I'll just say that. But moving on from that, LA United 2 announced the loan of goalkeeper Jaden Hibbert to Birmingham Legion, and his loan runs through November 30th, 2024. And yeah, they have the right to terminate the loan at any point of the season. So yeah, getting some more minutes for Hibbert, maybe from a starting standpoint. So yeah, looks good in that sense, but obviously keeps or makes Atl Utd 2 a little bit light. But you know, we have like a lot of academy players. We'll be okay. But yep, Atl Utd 2 will be back on the pitch on Wednesday as well. But it's another Wednesday. It's June 26th as the squad travels to play Orlando City B. But let's get into the match preview then. And yes, Atl Utd will be playing DC United on 7:30 or at 7:30 on Wednesday on Juneteenth. But yeah, if we are able to win, we would move over DC in the standings and closer to the playoff line. But yeah, currently DC United are 10th in the East. They last beat us at the Benz 3-2, unfortunately, on May 12th. The Christian Benteke headed hat trick, which, man, just those words kind of pissed me off. But the yeah, as well, you know, we have been playing better against them in previous times. Of course, they won the last match, but you know, we've either won, we've won 4, or we drew, you know, the last 5 before that. So, you know, hopefully that juju doesn't continue this this whole season. But obviously, yeah, Christian Benteke is the danger man. He is the player that we absolutely need to make sure that you know, does not boss things. And you know, if it's Noah Cobb or if it's Stian Gregerson, who might be available, well, Derek Williams definitely needs to be that other player that you know, kind of holds down the fort against Benteke. But you know, this is a team that may not be playing fantastic ball, but they do know how to put the ball in the back of the net, and that they did against us, unfortunately. You know, that 2-man striker system definitely kind of is something to contend with us. The great question is, which center backs are we going to play to probably try to nullify a little bit of this, if not 3 of them, because you know, with the 2 strikers look that they have. But yeah, so as far as the pundits of what where they might finish, yeah, they had them as low as 15th and as high as 11th. Right now, they're overperforming that, or 10th rather. And you know, obviously they are in 10th right now. But yeah, you know, a team that is very good at crossing the ball into the box for their strikers. You know, takes a lot of shots. Their 11's pretty consistent as well. And yeah, I mean, a team that's at home at Audi Field, I imagine they will be trying to play you know, their type of ball, and you know, we have it against us completely. We you know, have been abysmal on the road. It's gonna be a very uphill battle for this match as well. But the unavailable players for, or the availability report for Atl Utd, Luis Abram is in the Copa America with Peru. He's out. Stian Gregerson, the hamstring, he's questionable. Saba Lapsenice, he is out for the Euros. Edwin Mosquera, of course, is out with the meniscus. Bartosz Schlich, of course, out with the Euros. And Tyler Wolff, he's questionable with his meniscus in his knee. So, you know, some starters, some players that could definitely help us here. But, you know, that is the great question of who will be playing. And, yeah, that predicted starting 11. Let's kind of go through the lines. And, yeah, at goalkeeper, yeah, do you stick with Guzan or do you play Cohen?
I think they'll stick with Guzan. You know, the fact that he picked him last game, I think, is a signal that Rob wants to kind of have a stable vanguard that he can rely upon, that he knows well. So I feel like it'll be Brad unless, you know, crazy things happen. Probably for the next several games. It might very well be Cohen goes back to being a cup keeper again. That just seemed, I was a little surprised that he didn't pick Cohen as like the start of his coaching tenure once again. So, but yep, I think it'll be Brad.
Yeah, very, very fascinating. I think it's like I mentioned in the post-match live stream, it's probably keeping that captain of the team happy so that he can relay the message to the younger folks and try to not pretty much, I guess, upset the apple cart too much from a leadership standpoint, because nothing screams out lame duck than a player that doesn't play is the captain, and that's just very tough. But so yeah, I agree. Guzan is between the sticks. The question really is what type of formation probably and how we're going to play. Are you going to go with a 3-man back line, or are you going to go with a 2-man back line?
I think we're going to see what we saw last game. I don't think Rob is going to really differentiate much. I think, I think he's going to pick what. Well, he did say he'd be like, if something's not working, he's going to change it. But I don't think he's going to evaluate last game as something not really working, as opposed to kind of what Pineda has said many, many, many times. Oh, we lost the game because we fell asleep, because of, unforced errors, those types of things. So, yeah, he'll probably keep it the same. And so, I think we'll see. What do we have in the? We have Williams and
we have Cobb,
Noah,
we have Morales. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I think at this point we already saw Cobb get dunked on like 3 times. So perhaps Efren would probably be the one you go with this time instead of Noah. That would probably be my guess.
Yeah. We don't have a lot of cover, obviously, and that is the tough part here. Is that for center backs, we pretty much, we have those 3, and we can maybe bring Sten Gregerson with us and play in a pinch, but man, we already saw what happened when we rushed him a little bit. So I think we'd rather have him for the rest of the season versus this one match. But I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna say that we do the 3-man back line to stymie their 2-striker look, and go with Cobb, Williams in the middle, and Efrain Morales as the center backs. And obviously at that point it'd be more of I would say a different look, kind of probably a 3-4-3, or maybe a 3-2-2-1 maybe, but. Or not 3-2-2-1, but 3-4-2-1. But yeah, obviously the wingbacks, very easy. Lennon, Wiley, right?
Yeah, I agree. I'm not sure Rob will do that, but I would prefer him to do that. Yeah. Because I like we've said many times, a more defensive posture on the road, I think just is a better play. And we saw what happens when a team pushes Atlanta into a more, naturally defensive posture. Yeah. We seem to be able to, be forced into counterattacking, and we become more dangerous. So hopefully that'll be what happens this game.
Right. And for me, it's you guys will see with the rest of the lineup that it is a little bit of a surprise probably with how he played last match. But so into midfield for me, it's McCarty and Muyumba. What about you?
Yeah, McCarty. I wish McCarty could play all game, every game, all game. The guy is very good. I enjoy watching him play. I mean, obviously, Schlieff is great. And when he's available, I would play Schlieff. But outside of that, I just wish McCarty could go all the time.
Yeah, he's looked good in his cameos and as well his starts, but. And this is where we probably differ a good bit, is who's probably going to start. I don't know. You haven't told me. But I think on the wings, it'll be Almada and Silva, either in that, kind of 2 attacking midfielder look or on the wings. But, what do you think? Who's on the wings, who's in the hole for you, since you're going with a 4-man back line?
I mean, I would like to see that. That would be nice to see, because we haven't really seen Almada on the wing per se that much. He floats out there once in a while, but Yeah, that would be interesting to see. I don't know if there's a better, because like, you know, last game was fine in terms of goal output, 2 scored. Shonday obviously did his job, so I'm gonna pick him. And I like Daniels. Daniel has to be rewarded for the striker position. And if I want to go Almada in the middle or Almada on the wing, I think Almada on the wing might be better. It would just be exciting to see. It would be more exciting to see. So, and then, you know, what else?
So you need a right winger if there were.
Well, I mean,
and that's the difference probably for me, is that I would keep Luke Brennan out and bring him on as energy. Since he did play the last match a good number of minutes, but you know, not used to those type of MLS minutes, I wouldn't maybe risk him from the start. But you know, as someone who can be dangerous off the bench, I think that's pretty good. So, but would you start him on right wing?
I mean, I could see an argument for it. I get your point. I think strategically it probably makes more sense to bring him off the bench because of his young energy, but he could be rewarded with that, because he was everyone. I mean, you even said it on, it was Instagram and Twitter, like he needs his flowers and appreciation from last game. He did a great job. So in a way, I could see Rob saying, screw it, let's reward the kid. So I mean, I wouldn't hate that. If we get another injury there, that's probably all she wrote. But
yeah, I
wouldn't hate
very
it.
short. We're very short on the wings right now, but yeah, and I think Almada, for me, he would be playing a little bit more in a free role. So defensively, he won't have to maybe do as much. And with Lennon, Wiley at wingback, Cobb and Morales a little bit, playing a little bit more on the wing, a little bit as center backs. I think there's some ability for Almada to just kind of be that player to find pockets of space and just be dangerous. But up top, you had Rios. It's tough here because obviously Rios hasn't been playing a ton, but you also it's the whole kind of minutes breakdown for each player. Tiare, I mean, it would make sense for me to, I think, play him up top and then play Rios the next match, kind of a minute share, which it seems like at the moment, but it also doesn't reward Rios for his goal, so it's tough. It's a tough, actually, way to go about it. I'd go either way, but what do you think?
As an interim coach, I think the safe move is reward the players.
Yeah.
So that would be what my guess is.
Yeah. So either way, for me, it's a basically 3-4-2-1. Michael has a 4-2-3-1, kind of more customary what we do. But with that, different ways of playing, I think we need to be as direct as possible, soak up a lot of that pressure on the road, and just hit them on the break ruthlessly, and really try to be that team that smashes and grabs. I mean, it's just us playing with possession on the road just usually doesn't amount to much, unfortunately. So that's my way of thinking, which leads to a 2-2 draw, in my opinion, which 2 goals on the road, I guess it's progress, but what do you think?
I think 2-1 loss probably is my guess. I don't think we're going to be able to stop Benteke from doing what he does. So
yeah, you sound so down on that, and it is. Yep, that is.
Benteke did like a Bane breaking Batman's back to us last time. So I don't have a lot of confidence going up against that type of player on that type of formation when we don't have like a center back, unless we use Efren. But even so, we saw what happens when Benteke wants to ghost into space and to lose his man. He's very good at it. Mm-hmm. He's very good at it, and
he's been doing that his whole career. Yep.
So he's schooled players a lot older, more experienced, and taller than any of our center backs. So I don't have a super amount of faith that we'll be able to keep a clean sheet. That's for sure. But maybe maybe limit Benteke to maximum 2 goals, and we would, like you were saying, have a chance if we play the counter game. But, if we don't, which there's a chance we won't play that game, we're going to get hurt.
Yeah. So as they say, a lot of players have like the cultured left or right foot. He's got a cultured forehead, and it's a player that we will definitely have to keep our eyes on. But so that pretty much is the entire episode, except for the question of the day. And the question of the day is: would you or should we bring in players before a permanent head coach is hired? Let us know in the comments below, and we look forward to what you have to say. But guys, that is the episode there and there. For Michael, I'm AJ. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.